you've just had a rapid pace in the 2020s, project after project. I believe you've shot four films already this decade. What has led to these quick turnarounds for you?
Well, the point is in the independent world and so forth, right? It's there's a I guess you can do that, and I've just finished the cleaner with Daisy Ridley in London. I've just finally completed the movie about 2 weeks ago. I handed across the. I've done that, and this movie was obviously before that, and so forth. And it just happened to be a script that really appealed to me, and went to work on it. And the money came to make the thing came pretty quickly. So we just got on with it.
Yeah, it's great to see. All your films have been really fun lately, and this has a really unique setting. I haven't seen many films that take place like during the U.S. withdrawal from Afghanistan. What about that backdrop? And just a few years removed, it's pretty current day situation. Really appealed to you.
Well, it did, and the current situation, yeah, it was after the Americans pulled out, of course. In fact, I think the opening is before the Americans pulled out. Then, of course, and then we bring the thing up to date and so forth. But also the war between ISIS and the Taliban that goes on. I mean, that's raging as we speak, right? It's a civil war. And so it's very current in those terms. ISIS, obviously, in our story, they've kidnapped six schoolgirls out of Pakistan, and they're holding them to ransom, basically. So very topical as a story, which was appealed to me as well.
Yeah, you handle it great. And I wanted to ask about your lead, Eva Green. She has such an edge to her performance in this. What really stood out about her and made you feel confident that she was the right fit here?
Well, she couldn't be more opposite than when she did Casino Royale, right? And I think what probably appealed to her was the very fact that she's down and dirty in this, right? She's the opposite to what she was in Casino Royale, and and I think that's what attracted her to her, and it attracted me because I love the idea of someone who I'd worked with before in an entirely different role to be able to then adapt to something that is like 180 degrees from what she did before. I knew her as an actress, and I knew she was damn good. So it was that was the challenge, and she really rose to it, I have to say.
Yeah, it's really interesting that you've gotten such great, performance out of her on totally different ends of the spectrum. And in this movie, I love her scenes that are like hand-to-hand combat. She just is really great and got down that choreography. I was setting up those encounters because those are some vicious fight scenes.
Yes, there are some vicious fight scenes. I mean, I tried to keep all the action grounded in reality. I don't think there's any of the action I think those girls in reality could do. It was never heightened, right? A lot of the action is military, basically. Um, and of course, she has the final confrontation when they all get into that old Russian bunker, right, where ISIS are holed up. And she went for it. I have to say, to her credit, right? She really she knuckled down, and she trained. She worked extremely hard. And when you see Eva physically, she's not just the last person in the world you would actually think kind of would play this role. But of course, being the actress she is, um, she she grabbed it with both hands. So for
Yeah,
her, she did a great job, I think.
it's an incredible transformation. And you've worked with badass women before, but you got like a really great ensemble here: Eva, Ruby, Maria, Jojo, and some more. How is it like determining some of that casting? Because like Maria, I've never seen her in an action film before, but she picks it up really well. She plays her role as the bomb really well. How is it, assembling this very great ensemble cast?
Well, here's the thing. I didn't want it to look like a Miss Universe team, right? If you understand what I mean by that. In other words, casting a lot of glamorous actresses and so forth, right? Um, so the team was, I really, in terms of casting, I saw many. These days, you cast by tape, of course. You can't, I say tape, you cast all your stuff is on the computer. You do, and I went through God knows how many, looked at so many actresses and so forth, and really to select the six who are very different. Ironically, I had Eva, who's French. We had Rona from Israel. We had Jojo, who was American. We had an English actress. We had, in fact, I think they were all from different countries. And obviously Maria from Bulgaria, right? So it was very much an international cast as such, um, and they all, obviously Ruby Rose, another one. They all, as a team, right? I think worked extremely well.
Yeah, and I was talking to Maria, and she said there's like a boot camp before filming started
Yeah,
for them. Do you think that really kind of helped all those women really get a camaraderie for these great scenes that we get in the movie?
yeah, I think you're right. I think it does give them a camaraderie. Also, I don't think any of the women had ever played in a story like this. I don't think, I may be wrong, but I don't think they'd ever played a military part, for example, that of a soldier, right? A ballsy part where, and I think they probably grabbed it with both both arms simply because it was so different to anything that they'd done before, and which I think they all worked bloody hard to be as realistic as possible. They worked hard on their performances, and I think I think it shows.
Yeah, it definitely shows. And my last question for you, Martin, you mentioned you just wrapped up The Cleaner with Daisy Ridley. What can we kind of expect from that, and how is it working with Daisy?
Well, Daisy's terrific. I mean, honestly, it's a it's a kind of, God help, I should mention another film, but it's a Die Hard type story, right? And she plays a window cleaner, as simple as that. But I'm not going to tell you any more than that. But again, as Daisy is excellent in the movie, we had another actor called Taz Skylar, who was new, very new, and is really good. Clive Owen, who I've directed before. Um, but and it's really, the most of it takes place 700 foot on the side of a skyscraper. So
I can't wait to see that.
very different from Dirty Angels.
Yeah, it's great really seeing your past few films have shown a lot of great versatility from you. Thank you so much for your time, Martin, and congrats on Dirty Angels.
Thanks, Tyler.